Welcome back, my friends. So Hakchi, the program that we use to add emulators and games to our classic mini consoles, like the NES, the Super Nintendo, and the Sega Genesis Mini, recently got an update. So we're now on Hakchi 2 CE 3.8.0, and with it comes a bunch of new features. So today we're going to take a quick look at that. But if you need to download this and you don't have a previous version, I'll put a link in the description to this GitHub page. You just scroll down. Right about here, you have the release that you can download. But if you have the previous version, like 3.7, you can simply update from that version. So this is what the old version looks like. And with 3.8, they kind of changed some stuff. So we're going to go ahead and update this. So I'm going to exit out. And I do have my executable here for 3.7. We'll start that up and it'll instantly prompt me like, hey, we have a new version. So here we go. There's a ton of new features. So this release brings with it a brand new scraper feature, including automated scrape on import. So that's really cool. Add more controller mappings, add right-click menu to game artwork with paste. I'm not going to go through everything. You guys can take a look, but there's a lot of cool stuff here. Bluetooth with OTG. You could support DualShock 3 and 4 with automatic pairing over USB. So if you have a Bluetooth dongle, boom, pop that in. Plug in your controller, you're good to go. Really nice stuff. So like I said, there's tons of new things implemented here. Preliminary theme support for Sega, improved game compatibility with the internal emulator. And then you also have some bug fixes as well. So we're going to go ahead and update and take a look. Okay, so we're now updated to version 3.8 of Hakchi, and as you see, Hakchi does look a little different. We have a lot of information combined on the main page, so you don't have to go looking around for stuff. The game metadata is in the middle, artwork on the right, game collection, the current game collection on the left. I really dig this layout. It does make things a little easier, kind of streamline some stuff, and definitely with the automatic scraping is kind of neat. Not perfect, but definitely kind of neat. So we're going to be demonstrating some stuff with the Sega Genesis Mini. As you see up in the right-hand corner, I do have my system turned on, booted up, connected to Hakchi so you guys can see some of these changes live. So you could select, like I said, we're going to be in the Sega Genesis. You could select your console from the drop-down menu here, NES, Famicom, Super Nintendo, so on and so forth. And let's go ahead and drop in a Super Nintendo game and see what happens. So that was Mario Legend of the Seven Stars. And bam, instantly grab the box art, all the metadata, everything is listed here. I think that's pretty neat. So let's go ahead and select an emulation core for this. We'll go ahead and just put SNES 2002 for now. Apply. And I'm going to go ahead and synchronize this. You'll see it's now listed down here under that core. We'll synchronize it, see it show up on the system. So that is done. Now, it's going to show up just on our main page here, as you see. Not exactly the best way to do it, to have it intermingled with the Sega Genesis games, but if you want, you could leave it that way. The other thing we can do here is change the structure, and there's a lot of stuff we could do here. So custom, use folders. So then we go ahead and click structure again, click custom again. New games are moved to the unsorted folder. Okay. So as you see, we don't have any folders set up at this time. So it's just all the games are sitting here. Since we're going to choose to use folders now, if you go into the unsorted, we got the Super Mario RPG there. So we don't want that in unsorted. So we'll go ahead. We have some options here. We'll go to split by console. And now you see we have a Super Nintendo folder here with Mario in it. Now, I don't really care for these for the icon that we have for the Super Nintendo. I want to change that. So if you just left click on the image, you have a bunch of options you could choose from. So we're going to go ahead and scroll down the folder system, Super Nintendo USA. I like that a little better. It's still like, hey, we're on the Sega Genesis Mini, but we're going in the Super Nintendo, right? So we have that. Let's take a look. Let's see if we could change that one, the Sega Genesis one. There it is. Yeah, we'll leave it to that. That one's pretty nice. So Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis. We'll go ahead and click OK. And now we'll synchronize that. And we'll click OK again. It's doing its work. Now it is done. Let it boot back up. We can go to back, select Super Nintendo or Sega Genesis. If we select Sega, all of our Sega games that we have designated to this, like I've added a few games, Hyperstone Heist, Samurai Showdown, Snow Bros, a couple other things. We hit C, we go back, and then we can go to Super Nintendo, and we do have Mario RPG there. This is our back button, so that would be just so you can go back, or you could just hit C. You could change that icon as well, so you do have some options there. I think this is pretty neat. If we look at adding some other games, like I said, the automatic scraper's not perfect, but it does a decent job. So if we add, say, Sega Master System. So with Sega Master System, I noticed, and with a few other systems, if you add games, the automatic scraper kind of doesn't do its job, but there's still some things we can do here. So let's add a couple games. Alex Kidd Lost Stars and Chuck Rock 2. As you see, both of these, they just have little cartridge icons. Really nothing going on there. We didn't get any box art or metadata. Now, if we select both of those and then we right click, we can go ahead and select Scrape Selected Games. And it will look up games, artwork for games for each one that you selected. So Alex Kidd The Lost Stars, as you see, it pulled up Sega Master System and an arcade version. We'll go ahead and select the Sega Master System one. Chuck Rock 2 brought up a bunch of Chuck Rocks. So Sega Master System, that's the one we added to the system. So there you go. We now have the artwork there. A few little quirks here and there, but it still works beautifully well, in my opinion. We'd have to designate an emulation core to those. There's another thing we can do as well. Like, say you don't want to set up folders. Say you don't want to use this structure. You just want to disable pages and folders on your system. You just want everything intermingled. You can still have a sort here. So just as an example, let's select Sega Master System games. We can go ahead and add a prefix to these. Let's just say SMS. So enter a prefix to prepend to the name of all selected games. A colon and a space will automatically be added. So there we go. Let's go back down, take a look at that. And as you see, now it's SMS, Alex Kidd, The Lost Stars, and Chuck Rock 2. In your system, it'll sort it by SMS. So that'll be alphabetical. You'll have Alex Kidd and Chuck Rock where the S's go, that kind of thing. So there's a few things you could do with that. You can remove the prefixes as well. Just highlight, remove prefix. Tons of little things to do here. If you need to add modules for, additional cores to play, like Super Nintendo, or if you want to use something different for Sega Master System, like we didn't select a core for these, I believe. But if we select that, we can go with Genesis plus GX. I'm pretty sure that has SMS in there. We could add that. There's tons of things we could do here. So we did that. Not a huge deal. But if you need to add additional cores, you would go to Modules, KMFDM's Mod Hub, select that, and then you'll get a bunch of options here. So KMFD, I'm always saying KMFDM, but KMFD cores, select that, and then you can scroll through for all your different systems. We covered a lot of this in previous videos. It's just a lot of things are more streamlined now. So you would just, for example, okay, Genesis plus GX, it is Mega Drive, Game Gear, Master System, and Sega CD. So we already have that one installed. But let's say we want SMS plus. We would go ahead and select that, download and install the module, and we'll grab it. So it's doing its thing. There's a few things you could do here. Say you get some cores on here you don't want. You can go ahead and uninstall them fairly easily. So let me show you that. So that did install SMS Plus. Like I said, I'll show you how to uninstall it. But say we wanted to use that for those Sega Master System games, which we already added one to the Genesis Plus GX. But let's go ahead and go there, select the core, select that game, and we can go ahead and go SMS Plus GX, hit apply. You know, there's going to be different things with each of these systems or different cores and whatnot. So just kind of, you know, play with things. But if you want to uninstall SMS Plus, you go back to modules, go to uninstall extra modules, and we just got to go ahead and pick from here. So we don't want SMS Plus. Go ahead and remove that. And that's pretty much it. It'll just go ahead and uninstall it from your system. So that's why I like Hakchi, because you can uninstall, install things. You're not really messing with the system too much as far as like irreversible things. I really do dig this mod. Can't wait for there to be support for the TurboGrafx 16 Mini and the PC Engine Mini. I'm sure it's bound to happen sooner than later. I hope. I definitely want to add some games to that system. But with them constantly updating Hakchi, getting new features, streamlining things, it's one of my favorite hacks out there. So like I said, links will be in the description if you want to download this. But like I said, if you had previous version, you can just auto update it when you start up your old version of Hakchi. But hey, really do appreciate you guys. I know there's a ton to cover with this. If there's more you want to see, let me know. I know we've only kind of scratched the surface. But with that said, I will catch you guys next time. Peace out, bye-bye, and boom, bye.